Welcome to the Water Agency regular meeting of December 20th, 2021. It's now 4 o'clock. The meeting will be conducted pursuant to the provisions of the Government Code Section 54953, Subdivision E, and the recommendation of the Ventura County Public Health Officer issued September 21st, 2021, with the parentheses of social distancing recommendation. So at this time, Madam Clerk, can you call order? Take roll call.
Sir, thank you. Member Bouchard?
Christy, he's just logging in right now.
Yeah, I could see him. I was just waiting for his audio to kick in. Member Bouchard, if you can hear me, we're on roll call vote. Just let me know when you're available. Okay, it shows he's connecting, so I'll complete the rest and then I'll come back to him. Member Hernandez?
Here.
Member Perez?
Here.
Ex officio member Jacobson?
Here.
Vice Chair Dudley?
Here.
Chair Rollins?
Here.
And Member Bouchard?
Here.
Everybody's present, sir.
Great. So Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment at this point?
No, sir, we didn't receive any general public comments, and we have no public comments for any individual item that were submitted by written form. But if we have any members of the public attending, we will let you know, and we can provide public comment opportunities throughout the meeting.
Okay. At this time, may I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda for the Water Agency for this meeting?
I move approval.
Second.
May we have a roll call vote?
Member Hernandez?
Yes.
Member Perez?
Yes.
Member Bouchard?
Yeah.
Vice Chair Dudley?
Yes.
And Chair Rollins?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, so moving to number 1 on the agenda, the renewal and reconsideration of the remote meetings pursuant to Government Code Section 54953E. Staff, can you give a report, or Kevin?
Good afternoon, Chair Rollins and board members. As you may recall, at our last meeting, there had been a new law enacted by the state legislature and approved by the governor relating to the Brown Act and the authority to continue remote meetings without complying with the Brown Act's teleconferencing requirements. One of the reasons for avoidance of the teleconferencing requirements, you might remember, is that the public needs an opportunity to view each of the participating members at their location. And it's been deemed during the pandemic that probably not a good idea to have members of the public come and observe you at your homes. So as a result, a change in the law allowed cities to continue with remote meeting without complying with these requirements. Specifically, what every 30 days a board or a legislative body needs to reconsider the approval of continuing in remote. Because more than 30 days have elapsed, PHWA needs to make an initial finding once again. What this means is that the board must determine that there is a state of emergency in effect, which there is. On March 4th, 2020, the state of emergency remains in effect, and that either the state of emergency continues to directly impact the ability of the members to meet safely in person, or state or local officials continue to impose or recommend measures promoting social distancing. As of, I believe it was September 20th, the Ventura County Public Health Officer has sent a letter to all local agencies stating that he continues to recommend social distancing, and the state of emergency proclaimed by Governor Newsom has been reaffirmed as of, I believe it's December 15th on Wednesday, when he issued an additional executive order for the statewide mask mandate. So in essence, in order to continue meeting remotely like this, we need to find that the statewide proclamation of emergency remains in effect, and that either there's a direct threat to health to continue meeting in person, or that a state or local official has recommended measures imposing social distancing. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Do we have any questions from the board? Okay, at this time, may I have a motion and a second to approve the renewal and reconsideration of remote control meetings.
Motion to approve the renewal. Second.
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call vote?
Member Perez,
Yes.
Member Hernandez,
Yes.
Member Bouchard,
Yes.
Vice Chair Dudley,
Yes.
and Chair Rollins.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, there are no presentations at this time. So we will move on to the consent agenda. Number 2 is to approve the minutes of the Water Agency regular meeting of October 18th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Chair Rollins?
Yes.
I'm sorry, can we read those consent agenda items into the record, please?
Oh, should we read both of them at the same time? I was going to do them one at a time.
We can approve them together. We just need to read the titles into the record.
Okay, so number 2, I'll repeat, is to approve the minutes of the Water Agency regular meeting of October 18th, 2021. And number 3 on the consent agenda is receive and file cash disbursement report for September 11th, 2021 through December 13th, 2001. There's a recommendation to receive and file both the cash disbursement report and to approve the Water Agency regular meeting minutes. So at this time, then, can we have a motion to approve and second?
I motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Can we have a roll call vote?
Member Hernandez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Dudley,
Yes.
Member Bouchard,
Yes.
Member Perez,
Yes.
and Chair Rollins.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, there are no public hearings at this time. We're now going to move on to the business items. Number 4 on the agenda is the Brackish Water Reclamation Demonstration Facility Operational Report. At this time, can we have the staff, Mr. Belafana, give the report?
This evening or this afternoon, Mr. Birch is going to be giving the Brackish water update, and I will be giving the update on capital projects.
Right. So, Mr. Birch.
Good afternoon, board members. It is recommended that the board receive and file this report. The report presents an update on the operational status of the Brackish Water Reclamation Demonstration Facility for the months of October and November of 2021. The plant was in operation for the entire month of October 2021. The Port Hueneme Water Agency demand was 3.65 million gallons per day for October, which was less than September 2021 at 3.84 million gallons per day. Last year in October 2020, the plant did not operate for 1 day in the month due to a half-inch chemical line replacement, and the demand was 3.37 million gallons per day. Silt density index levels range between 0.5 and 0.9, allowing the plant to run continuously for the month. The SDI sample once a day average was 0.64, which is an indication of the iron and manganese levels entering the facility. United Water Conservation District supplied 80.1%, and Cayugas Municipality Water District supplied 19.9% of the water in October 2021. The plant was in operation for the entire month of November 2021. The Port Hueneme Water Agency demand was 3.47 million gallons per day for November, which was less than October at 3.65 million gallons a day. Last year in November, the plant operated the entire month and the demand was 3.93 million gallons a day. The SDI levels range between 0.3 and 1, allowing the plant to run continuously for the month. The SDI sample once a day average was 0.61, which is an indication of the iron and manganese levels entering the facility. United Water Conservation supplied 84.7%, and Cayugas Water District supplied 15.3% of the water in November. PHWA's water continues to meet all state and federal regulatory standards. The water supply, the current year usage for United is 3,281 acre feet, or 89.7% of allocation. And Cayugas is 602 acre feet, or 40.7% of allocation. Shortage alert. At this time, we do not anticipate a shortage of water supply for PHWA in the near future. However, staff is closely monitoring the water supply situation. Is there any questions?
Do we have any questions from our members? So
Yes,
then,
just real quick, this is
yes.
Director Debley. Just a question in regards to, it seems like a year or so ago, we were bypassing quite frequently based on the SDI. And I'm just curious, what is the threshold that, or the reading that would warrant bypassing? And I guess with the SDI, is that the only, is it indicative of iron and manganese, or is that, what exactly does the SDI do as far as its effect on the membranes?
It's an indication of the iron and manganese levels in the water, and it will foul the membranes if it gets above 3. So 3 is the time we shut off the membrane treatment so that they do not get fouled.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
And just for knowledge sake, what causes the manganese level to get higher?
Usually it's because of a drought situation, and United is pumping from the lower aquifers, which contain more iron and manganese. So we have more in the water.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the report?
Motion to approve.
Second.
May we have a roll call vote?
Member Perez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Dudley,
Yes.
Member Bouchard,
Yes.
Member Hernandez,
Yes.
and Chair Rollins.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
So now we move on to number 5, the capital projects verbal update to be given by Mr. Villafano.
At this time, I need to share the screen. If I could be made co-host, I have a few slides I want to share.
Ron, I made you co-host, sir.
All right, okay, very good. All right. Okay, this is the capital improvement update, and we had the current projects that were identified in the facilities master plan that was prepared by Gannett Fleming. We're working on 3 of these: the arc flash study, the water tank seismic analysis, and the Scada upgrades. And Scada stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. The arc flash upgrades, this is being done by Lucci and Associates Electrical Engineers. It's the switchgear at the plant to be inspected and upgraded after the arc flash study. There's a few pictures of our switchgear, high voltage switchgear at our plant. The contract with Lucci and Associates was $45,000, and we expect to anticipated completion is February of 2022, and I'm the project manager on this project. The water tank seismic analysis, this is being prepared by Avila Structural Engineering, and a report is anticipated in mid-January. The contract price with Avila Engineering was $20,000. And again, I'm the project manager on that. And once we get the report from Mr. Avila, we'll see what upgrades have to be made. And we will be coming back to the board to discuss those. The third project that we're working on is the Scada upgrades. This is being done by Macro Automatics. Currently we're 80% complete with anticipated completion of March 2022. The contract cost was $70,000. And this project, the project manager is David Birch. And if you look at the screen, you see on the left, the new versus the old on the right, you can see how much more detail and how much more telemetrics we're getting with the Scada update. So it's going to improve our ability to see what's going on the plant. And again, we can monitor this remotely. So this will be a quantum jump for us. So a real upgrade that was recommended by the Fleming report. That's all I have for you. Do you have any questions?
Do we have any questions from the committee, the agency members?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to comment. Thank you for the visuals on your presentation. It really helps a lot to better understand what we're approving when we can actually see a picture of it. So thank you for that.
And we will be coming back with the report on the tank, and so we'll keep the board updated. And the board, we came to the board for all 3 contracts on that, and that was approved, and we're moving forward with those. So any other questions?
Mr. Villafana, just for purposes of my notes, what was the first item that you brought? What was number 1?
Well, that was the arc flash. Now, that's where we have an electrical engineer inspect our high voltage switch gear, make sure, and he goes in there in conjunction with an electrician, make sure that we're up to code. And then we have to affix to the panels the appropriate PPE that has to be worn when opening high voltage. And we check the condition of the switch gear at that time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Well, thank you, Mr. Villafano, for being proactive and bringing back to us the various different things that we need to keep our water system up to date and safe.
Thank you.
So at this time, may we have a motion to approve, to receive and file the report, and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Can we have a roll call vote?
Member Hernandez,
Yes.
Member Perez,
Yes.
Member Bouchard,
Yes.
Vice Chair Dudley. So you're muted.
Too many buttons, yes.
Thank you, sir. And Chair Rollins.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. At this time, do we have any board member reports, comments, or requests for future agenda items?
I just have a question. I could have asked that earlier when we heard the Brackish water report, but I know that staff is looking at the allocation plan and the drought situation. When do you, I'm not sure who to direct this to. When do we expect that we're going to have to start cutting back on our water usage?
I'll answer that. At this time, you know, the basin is under adjudication. There's supposed to be a ramp down. It depends on what our ramp down, you know, what our initial allocation is. But I've seen a higher allocation and a lower allocation. So certainly for the first couple of years, we're okay. And then we have to look and see. We are, you know, still in a voluntary 15% cutback because of the drought conditions. Very fortunately, we've had some amazing snowfall in the last couple of weeks, and we are anticipating, or the weather forecast, that we're going to be getting more snow in the Sierras, both central and northern California. So that bodes well for our water supply. But we'll keep you posted on that. Mr. Candy has been taking the point on that for the agency, and right now he has nothing more to report on that. One thing that I would just like to bring up, and I brought it up before, that the need for all the agencies to participate in regional projects wherever possible. and my colleague, Dave Klotzel, they just opened the desalinization plant in Camarillo.
Mhm.
And that's a real win. They're taking water that was brackish water, unusable water, and they're creating approximately 4,500 acre feet of new water for the city of Camarillo,
Mhm.
which is fantastic for the city of Camarillo.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to get a tour of that plant in the next couple of months from Dave. And so I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. And I just wanted just to wish everybody a happy holiday and Merry Christmas to our fellow board members and to staff.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from our board? Okay, I just had one, and it's more of a hypothetical one. If we're currently our water rates are designed for certain levels of usage and they jump up percentage wise, if there was a major cutback in the amount of water that were allotted from the state, would there be a possibility that we would have to revisit the water allocation that goes to our residents in the rates?
It all depends on how drastic a cutback is. We have, Raftelis is the firm that did the rate study, and we have a fixed cost and then a variable cost. And that variable cost is based on water usage. So the fixed cost covers, the agency's fixed costs. But, yes, and as I said before, we are in, the agency has no issues for the next couple of years. There will be a point where we have to look at additional conservation or additional water sources. If the groundwater, if our allocation of groundwater is reduced, we may be forced to buy more state water if it is available. And that is, much more expensive water, the Cayugas water. So.
Okay, and then I guess my other one question is I'm excited to hear about the desalinization plant in Camarillo. Do you have any idea of how long that has taken and what it cost?
I don't have the exact figures. I certainly can find out the specifics from Dave Klotzel. It's been a multi-year project, from both design and construction. They did get a number of grants to help fund that. So, that was a real positive. That was just a real win project for the area and certainly for Camarillo.
Well, thank you. Well, at this time, if we have no other comments, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays, y'all. Enjoy.
Take care, everybody. Be safe.